This is going to be the first in what will probably be many videos in regard to a solar power system that I'm designing and putting on my garage. I think the interesting part of this is I really don't know anything about anything. I'm just trying to learn the things I don't know so that I can try to figure them out, which I think a lot of people are in similar position. From what I've been able to find in the research I've done, it seems that this solar kind of industry is really opaque and sort of locked in, so that just the installers seem to make a lot of money, and the market is kind of distorted by the various incentives and tax credits and whatnot. I want to build one for, well, just a tiny fraction of the tens of thousands of dollars they charge. Okay, I've seen other videos of people that take these things apart, so I have some idea what I'm going to find in here, but let's just start taking all these screws off, get this cover off. So when I built my garage, it has two south-facing planes. This is a 45, so a 12-12, and this is a much shallower roof, a 312. Kind of looks like this in profile. I'll go show you outside right now. Of course, there's a major blizzard here. Okay, just another day in Minnesota, middle April. This is the garage. You can see, so the roofs are facing directly south. And there's lots of room up there for solar panels, so that's the other thing that I got to figure out how to do, is how to mount them up there, and the racking system and code requirements and things like that. So many things to know, but I know I can figure this out. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me just take a little tool around. I don't know, I have no idea. I've never done this before. All right. These are the solar panels that I found on Craigslist. They were used by a guy that was off the grid and then had to flee the state. I'll show you what kind they are. I'll tell you that I paid initially $1,400 for 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And before I could pick them up, but after I paid for them, he sold them to somebody else. So I actually had to buy them again from somebody else. But as the original seller has been charged with felony theft, I hope to get my money back from him for that. So we'll just count it as one-time purchase at this point. These are the panel stats, and I think the most important part is that it's a 300-watt panel, and I intend to wire 3 of these in series. So there's 9 of them, so there'll be 3 sets of them, which should have a voltage of close to 100 volts that comes down to the charge controller. This is the charge controller I got from the guy. It's the Midnight Classic, which, if you do some more research, is one of the, more popular, higher rated, still a good charge controller. I paid about $500 for this from that guy, and it's hard to say because he threw in all sorts of stuff. I also got all the racks. I got it's a mess right now. Wires. There's combiner boxes with the circuit breakers in it. They got, I don't know, probably a couple $100 worth of aluminum racking components, and that's the battery temperature monitor, and I don't even know what some of this stuff is, but we'll figure it out. Sort of my goal in all this is to generate enough electricity through the solar panels that go into a charge controller that will charge up a bank of batteries, run to an inverter, which will run to an AC panel, and charge up my electric car, my Chevy Volt, which if I deplete it during the day will use up about 10 kilowatts of power. Actually, I think to be more accurate, it's called 10 kilowatt hours of power. These Chevy Volt battery packs are made up of different modules. You can see there's a 1 kilowatt 24 volt module, and then this is a 48 volt module from here to here, which is 2 kilowatts, and another 48 volt, and another 2 kilowatt 48 volt, another 2 kilowatt 48 volt, and another 2 kilowatt 48 volt, another 2 kilowatt 48 volt, 1 kilowatt 24 volt, and another 2 kilowatt 48 volt. So there's 16 total kilowatt battery pack, which will run at 48 volts. So I don't have an inverter yet, but it will have to be a 48 volt inverter that will run off this battery pack. You can see that these have liquid cooling lines and heating lines. There's a heating element actually right here, which heats the coolant as it goes through there. I don't know whether or not I will retain that. It gets obviously very cold here in Minnesota. I think maybe an easier thing to do would to build an insulated box and just, well, it's more complicated than that. We'll get to that eventually. There's also the question of battery management system. Seems like it's not totally necessary, but this is a battery management computer, but nobody knows how they work. So they have aftermarket ones that you would wire into all the separate batteries here to read the individual cells, so you can determine whether they're all in balance, and if not, you can balance them out right. These are just things I'm starting to learn that I didn't know. There are things I know I don't know, so I need to learn more about those as we go along. The other thing is that in my garage, I don't want to have to put a separate meter on it and pay an electrician to do that. So I want to be autonomous. I want to generate enough electricity to run my garage at the very least and charge up this car. I did get a thing from our electric company which indicated that, so this is our efficient neighbors, this is all the neighbors, and this is us. So we're using a 953 kilowatt hours of power during March of 2018. Now, the reason we use so much more than anybody else is I'm charging up my electric car every day, so that's probably 300 kilowatt hours during the month. We also have electric heaters on our third floor to just keep the heat, just heat that part. So we're going to use a lot more electricity, which gives me even more incentive to generate my own. Some quick calculations: if we're paying 13 cents a kilowatt hour, that's about $123 a month. So there is the potential to save some money on this. Now, that isn't my primary motivation. I think you got to figure out why you want to do this, because is it really going to save you a lot of money? There's a lot of, it's just an expensive equipment. You can get a lot of months at $123 a month for what it costs for this equipment. I'm doing it primarily so I can learn how to do it because it's fun. I want to have my own power in case someday there's a blackout, or even worse, the grid or something happens, goes down for an extended period of time. I want to be able to have all the power I would need to run everything that I need. It's more environmentally friendly, I suppose, although I do a lot of things that I could probably be greener at. somewhere way down here would be cost savings. I'm not entirely sure it's going to happen, but by the end of these video, we'll have a better understanding of that. So I guess that's it for right now. One thing that I think we're going to find out is that these electric vehicle EV batteries are going to be so valuable after they're done being valuable in the car for solar systems like this. If I can get this whole array for $1,000, and I suspect prices will probably come down as the supply goes up, and there's hundreds of thousands of electric vehicles being dismantled. This will allow, you know, nearly every house to generate a good portion of the electricity that they need and store it. Even if they don't have electric panels, it would allow them to charge it up at times of low demand and discharge it when power is more expensive. It just seems like there's so much that can be done with these. It's going to be exciting.